Dive into summer with Vizcaya swimwear. Stylish, comfortable, unforgettable. Make a splash with Vizcaya swimwear. Discover your beauty with Lady Code Cosmetics. Bold colors, flawless finishes. Unleash your confidence with Lady Code. Hello and welcome back to Misrepresented. I'm your host, Lisa Opie, and I'm so excited for today's guest. But before I introduce her, we have to thank Pink Apple Dresses for dressing us today. We're loving this teal vibe.
Yes.
So today I have Kennedy Thomas, and I never read bios, but I have to read this one because it's so impressive.
Thank you.
So Kennedy owns Beauty Queens Galore Prom and Pageant, a top retailer ranked #1 by Pageant Planet. BQG's designs have been featured on VH1, Bravo, and Netflix, and have dressed queens from some of the top pageant systems in the world. She also runs BQG, the Pageant Resource, which I personally love, an online platform created by queens for queens, serving as a touchstone for pageant community. It reports on trends, fashion, styling, positioning itself in an all-inclusive voice in pageantry. Kennedy holds a bachelor's degree in biology and a dual master's degree in biotechnology and cannabis therapeutics. I can't wait to talk about that. Kennedy plans to attend dental school next fall and begin working on her doctorate of dental surgery. She's also the reigning Miss World America Central Georgia. Yes. So welcome, Kennedy Thomas.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm so happy to have this opportunity. You are amazing.
Oh, thank you. I'm just so happy that you're finally here. I feel like you're one of the girls, like when I started my podcast, I was like, I need to have Kennedy on.
Yes.
Because we have so much to talk about.
So much.
The first thing I really want to talk about, because we brought it up, is the BQG Resource, right?
Yes.
Where you post like anonymous topics and things like that. It gets controversial.
Yes.
What's like the craziest, most controversial thing that you've posted?
I can't say too much because there's just, when we have our anonymous forum, it's really a space for people to just share their feelings, positive or negative, exactly, without being or fearful of being judged by others. So with our anonymous forum, contestants, directors, hair and makeup artists, photographers all share their input. And I'd say the most wild anonymous post was just really dropping names of a certain director of a pageant, and they would just go off about, this director wasn't even watching me the whole time in the pageant. She was just too busy on her phone.
Oh my God.
I can't say specific names, but these people really utilize this forum, and they are not afraid to name drop. They are not afraid to just give it the real. And that's why that's the whole point of the anonymous forum, is to just showcase what pageantry is really about, the good, bad, and the ugly. And I'm emphasizing, the good and the bad experiences because, we've been getting a lot of bad experiences, people who just haven't had a good experience in pageantry. But, I'm trying to promote that you can still have good experiences. So for example, one of my favorites was, it was during Chesley's passing, and someone submitted, this one hit hard for me. She was in my world, and it just feels like, this just hit home for me. And it hurt because I relate so much. I mean, she's an African-American woman, having that functional depression and not even realizing that she's going through all these different things. So it was just, there's so many different topics that goes on with our anonymous forum, but please go on our social media. You can see everything from complaints from makeup artists, complaints from directors. It's crazy.
Yeah, you really spill the tea, but you do it in such a classy way. I feel like where it's like really not dramatic, it's not trashy, and you're just bringing things to attention that really needs to be brought to people's attention about pageants. And like fairness and things like that too.
You have to. I mean, there's ways of sharing how you feel, but doing it in a classy way without degrading someone else or just being nasty about it. So there's nothing wrong with sharing how you feel. Just do it in a positive way.
Yeah, definitely. So balancing business and passion.
It's a lot to juggle.
A lot going on.
It's a lot. And I'm sure you can attest to this too. I mean, like, how do you balance owning and operating all of these businesses and still having time for yourself, for your family, for your relationships, for the things that you enjoy? So anytime I have the opportunity to talk to people, I always emphasize finding what works best for you and, do it. So for me, I start my day with writing my to-do list, my goals, my priorities for the day. And that's what keeps me on track of what I need to do. And then I'll even go as far as designating days. So, like, for example, Sundays, I'll do content batching for the pageant resource.
Wow.
Sunday, just get 2 weeks worth of content done so that I don't have to worry about it later on in the week. And then just, making time for myself, saying, like after 8 p.m., I'm not responding to any emails, I'll just talk to you tomorrow.
Wow.
So it's really about setting those boundaries and being in a space where you want to learn how to grow more and you want to learn how to improve when it comes to managing your time, because it's not impossible.
Yeah.
It seems scary at face value, running the storefront in Fayetteville, Georgia, the dress store, the pageant resource, making sure we're staying relevant online on social media. And then, as you said, like I'm a student as well. And I'm still trying to navigate life and travel and see new things.
It's so amazing.
But, sometimes it can be so hard because you have so many obligations, but it is just a matter of managing your time and setting those boundaries.
So I feel like I have not figured it out yet. Like my life behind the scenes is chaos. So I haven't figured it out yet. But do you feel like you have a good grasp on like all of your responsibilities and like time management?
There's definitely room for improvement. I'll catch myself procrastinating every now and then, but I mean, we're human. So you can't have everything perfect, but as long as you're mentally okay and it works for you, do that. Why not?
Yeah, I feel like you're doing amazing.
Thank
and like
you.
She flew in this morning. She's flying out in a couple hours.
I had
and
to
then
be
you're
at the
going to
airport.
Cambodia.
Yes, Cambodia and Thailand.
Oh
next
my god.
No, this week. Oh my gosh, everything is just
like
together.
On Wednesday. Isn't that what your mom said? Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. And how do you balance like school with all of that?
Ooh, I had to learn the hard way of how to balance it. I think that's really what kicked everything off when it came to learning how to manage my time, because there was a point where I was balancing Beauty Queens Galore, both the store and the pageant resource,
and competing
and then also having to make sure that my grades were on point. And there was a certain semester where I had a 1.1 GPA, y'all. I have never in my life been down that badly. So I'm telling you, I'm used to 3.5s, 3.8s, 3.9s, a 1.1 in a semester. And it was just because I just didn't manage my time. And it was that moment where it felt like my future was in trouble, if I didn't get my stuff together, because I'm a science major. You have to have good grades, especially if you want to go to medical school or dental school. Those grades are crucial, and how you finish is crucial. So, I had to bounce back. I had to step back and say, look, I love the pageant resource. I love Beauty Queens Galore. This is my brand. This is my baby. But I have to find a way to manage this, because if I don't, something's going to sink. And I know one thing, my education cannot sink. So it's super important just to find what works best for you. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, at one point, I got so stressed out on like making sure I had the right color pens and make sure I'm writing inside the lines of things that had to get done. Very type A. And then one day I was just like, you know what? I'm going to color outside the lines. I'm going to just do what works, or do what works best for me. And, it doesn't have to be perfect. It makes sense to me. And that's all that matters.
Amazing. So tell me about your advocacy and pageants.
Yes, that's super important. And for anyone who's interested in pageants or is already in pageants, it's having a platform to really talk about the causes that mean the most to you. Specifically for me, mine is addressing the disparities that we see in oral and dental healthcare. It is a major issue. I work as a patient care coordinator at a dental office, and I did not know how bad of a health crisis that this is. And, when we talk about the healthcare crisis in America, we just dismiss the dental aspect of it. I mean,
it's always like the last on everyone's priorities.
Yeah, even with insurance. I mean, there's millions of Americans who don't even have the adequate insurance that they need to actually get the treatment, let alone there are people who don't even have access to get that treatment. And if you want to go deeper, there's people who don't even have a toothbrush or toothpaste or dental floss to even, incorporate good, healthy habits when it comes to having that good oral health. So it's such a rabbit hole when it comes to this issue. It's very important. It's affecting marginalized groups of people. And, we have to find a way to recognize these disparities and actually do something about it. So being a title holder representing Central Georgia for Miss World America, and with this pageant in general, it's just a perfect match made in heaven. I mean, Miss World America is all about service and promoting having a beauty with a purpose. And what that means is look beyond what's on the external, because beauty is more than that. Beauty is about having that desire and that want to serve others or uplift others. And that's what it's truly about, and wanting to make that lasting, meaningful impact. For me, not only do I want to make a meaningful impact, I want to make a lasting impact, something that will last forever. So just, I hate to see it when pageant queens just come up with a platform just to say they have a platform.
Right, and they like drop it in the interview lightly, and then that's it. And Miss World America is not what that's about. Like you really have to live and breathe your platform. And I feel like Shri and Victoria were both perfect examples of that, and they really are so beautiful and also very committed and dedicated.
Let me tell you something. I signed up last minute for the pageant, and immediately I was welcomed with open arms, support. I've already had at least 7 sessions with different industry experts provided by Miss Edka. She's the director of the pageant. And just getting to know all the ins and outs of hair, makeup, walking, styling, fashion. And the crazy thing is, what really sealed the deal for me was on that back end on the pageant resource, I'm used to seeing the industry experts. But when I saw that Edka and Cherie were incorporating these industry experts into our workshops, I was like, okay, like this is the real deal. Like these ladies are really setting up these contestants up for success. And this is a pageant where if you want to compete in a fair pageant, you want to be in a system where you feel supported. And if you want to win $15,000 in cash and $250,000 in sponsorships,
their prize package is crazy.
Do it, because there's only so many few pageants out there that are authentic to their mission. There's only a few. I can only count a handful, and Miss World America is definitely the top pageants to be true to that.
I want to put you on the spot really quick because you are one of the very few girls, if not the only, who has competed in probably every single system in the United States and internationally. So out of all of them, which she's done like Grand, Earth, all of them, what's your favorite?
To dig into my service side, Earth and World America is where I'm at. But on my alter ego, when I want to give a show and I want to flex my body and just really perform, Grand is the place to be if you want to color outside the line, so to speak, not do the traditional pageant pose. You can just swing your hips, flip your hair, be extra. And that's just so fun.
It's like your Beyonce moment.
But, I'm just a blend of both of these two worlds of, Earth and World America and then Grand. So you have to find what pageant works best for you. But I can tell you, if you are a woman of service, you're beautiful, and you love giving back and you want to make a meaningful impact, definitely do World America or Earth.
Yeah, I love them both so much, and I love both of the directors. All of the directors, we're so lucky to have amazing directors here. So tell me about your curiosity and lifelong learning.
Ooh, so I'm super glad that you brought this up. When it comes to curiosity and lifelong learning, a lot of people don't see that about me. So I'm a free thinker. Any chance I get, especially talking to young people, planting those seeds of curiosity, because it promotes learning. And when you do have that curious mindset, it's fueling that personal growth. It's fueling those questions of, how can I do better? How can I solve this problem? And then, beyond that, it helps you adapt to different situations. And, being curious, it teaches us to be patient. It teaches us to want to learn 100%. Why something works, how something works. And you're more happier. I mean, there's studies that show that when you're curious and you want to do something more, you want to grow, asking those questions is a really great place to get to know yourself and how you react to certain situations.
That's such a good leadership skill. I feel like having your business and also the pageant resource, you really need to be balanced and understand and see where people are coming from.
Yeah, and so hear them out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Is there any examples that you've had to apply that?
Probably building the pageant resource. I was so concerned about, how are people going to react to this? Are they going to agree with everything that we have to say? I was honestly just curious about how the audience would react.
Yeah.
But I found myself in this analysis paralysis where, I would be thinking about all of this stuff and then nothing would get done. So, although curiosity can have its ups and downs, um, having those questions make you feel like, why not? Why
Yeah.
not just take the risk and do it? So, um, it's, as you said, it's very important. A lot of successful people have those curiosity mindsets, and if you think about it, the world is constantly changing, and it's those curious ideas, those new ideas that challenge the existing ones.
Yeah.
Those are the moments that mean the most, and that's what's going to make real change. Yeah,
what inspired you starting your business? Like, how did you start BQG?
So it was during COVID, and at the time there were only two main platforms that would promote pageant queens, and at the time there were a lot of promotion of the big time pageant queens, but the underdogs, we would never get highlighted. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to repost these girls on a random page. It's going to be a blog. We'll see where it goes. I don't care what anyone has to say. I'm going to promote everyone from X, Y, and Z.
Wow.
And that includes makeup artists, photographers, people who don't get highlighted or talked about enough of. That was a platform to do that.
Oh my gosh. And you posted me. I appreciate you so much. You've always been so supportive since day one.
I'm a Lisa fan. You are the Kim K in the pageant industry.
I'm a Kennedy fan.
But, it's been such an amazing journey. And I'm excited for the future.
Yeah. So did that kind of branch off into the gown store?
Yeah. So, we're providing these girls all of these tips, these resources, the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts of pageants. But at some point we need to dress them. Yeah. And any type of brand that I'm connected to or that I create, I like to, what am I trying to say? Like, it needs to be an extension of me. So at the store, when you walk in, it doesn't matter if you're a 000. It doesn't matter if you're a size 34. We carry all of those sizes, and we take pride in making sure that every person who walks through those doors, male or female, feels welcome and included, and having that safe space to even want to try on dresses. I mean, like, we have some plus size queens who will sometimes shop at the very end of the day because they feel that, when they walk in, they may not find what they need because they've experienced not having their sizes in stores, or they'll just feel shameful of just being in a space where, the next cubby of the changing room might be a smaller girl, and that can be a lot on the mental of, the plus size girl. But just the fact that she has to think about this, I'd rather just create a space where, it's felt right when you walk through the doors that you feel welcome. There's no type of discrimination. So that's the store, and it's a beautiful place. If you're in Fayetteville or if you ever visit Georgia, please let me know, because we love dressing people. We paying it forward goes a long way, making sure that people have the resources that they need. For a while, we've been known to be the store to dress queens last minute if a sponsorship falls through. So we're I'm telling you, like, we are so
That's
adaptable.
terrible.
It's all about the girl.
Yeah, it really is all about the girl at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's what really sparked it all, was that curiosity and that drive to really want to make a difference, and being that change that I wanted to see.
Wow, I didn't know you were so new. I thought you've been around for years because you are so established. So I'm really excited to see what's next for you.
And, although I have competed a lot, one thing about me is that, I don't compete back to back. So I kind of take these gap years. So it is kind of, weird because it's only been 4 or 5 years now.
That's
so
crazy.
it's crazy.
Oh my gosh, you're amazing. I can't wait to see where it goes. And I feel like this kind of goes into our next talking point, which is networking and community building, which is pretty much everything that you're doing with your business.
Yes, I've been able to build an empire, just meeting people like you, mentors, key industry leaders that make real change in this industry. And most importantly, when it comes to sponsorships and collaborating. As a store owner, as a contestant, I see firsthand how important sponsorships are. A lot of pageant queens think that these items are just for free, which they might see at firsthand. But as the person who's actually giving those items for free, I had to pay for it. And one thing that really grinds my gears is when girls do not promote these sponsors. For example, our prize package for Miss World America is $250,000. Miss Edka had to sit on the phone all day, every day to try to get these sponsorships. So the least we can do is to make more than just one little post shouting them out.
I
It's
am so happy you brought that up
going
because
beyond.
I
Yes.
am like starting to feel like a charity where I'm like, okay, I give everybody like free makeup all the time, like free services, like my time, and I don't even get like a post,
Yeah.
or like I don't get even a thank you sometimes. Sometimes they're entitled. I did a shoot the other day and I told the girl I would give her some makeup at the end of the day. I forgot, like she was about to leave and she goes, do you have my bag ready for me with my gifts? And I'm like,
Girl.
and it's just like so entitled. And guess what? She still hasn't posted. So it's just like, you really need to understand that like it really does cost us money. We invest so much and they need to bring that value back to us because it's an investment and we need that ROI.
Yeah, and it can really go deeper to even affecting the pageant system. Can lose sponsorships, and then it's a whole cascade effect. So sponsorships, collaborating are super important if you want to succeed in pageantry. Super important. There's a smile, being kind goes a long way, and that's all sponsorships or sponsors can ask for.
100%. And if you're a queen right now that has sponsors, like shouting out your sponsors will pay off. Like Danielle Mullins, if she wanted makeup today, I would be like, take anything you need because I know everything. Even if I gave her like a mascara wand, she would post about it. Every last thing.
Real story, photos.
Yep.
I love her so much. Any gown that I hope she's watching this right now, girl. Any gown that you need, as always, I got you. We got you. So yes, you got to do it. And now with social media being the biggest driving factor, if a pageant queen's going to win, it's essential to shout out your sponsors.
Oh, definitely. I feel like that's a thing. And like as a sponsor, I always look at the girl's social medias and I'm like, is she like marketable? Is she going to make my brand money? Is she going to like help us? Because that's what we look at when we renew sponsorships.
It's a business.
I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, it's a business.
Yeah. So navigating personal challenges, we kind of talked about this in the makeup chair. Do you want to go like deep into that?
Yeah, just navigating those times of self-doubt, going back to, creating Beauty Queens Galore. Is this going to work? How are people going to receive it? It might suck in the moment. You might feel that the world is crashing, but it takes having y'all might get tired of me saying this, but you have to have that want to be better or to make a change in your life. For me, I've had a lot of trauma. I feel like I've been depressed for years, but all of that changed when I said, you know what, I'm going to take control of my life. I'm the master of my fate, and this is what I'm going to do, because no one's going to give you what you want. You have to take it. You have to create those opportunities. You have to create your own lane. Sometimes you might have to create your own business. That's what it takes. But it's never too late. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. But for me, it was me being my biggest self-critic that really put me in this rough patch. I mean, pageants alone, you get judged on social media and in person, but it was me, myself, that was my biggest bully. And that really got in the way of everything. So I'm still learning. It's still a process. I'm sure you can attest to that too. Are you still going through the journey of
all the time? And like people like see me and they're like, oh my gosh, you're doing so much, congratulations. And I'm like, on what? Because I still cry every night. Like I don't feel like it's actually happening for me. And like, I don't know, it's just like we put in so much work and like I feel like I'm not there yet and I still have so much room to grow.
And being real in the moment right now, I've never won a pageant. I've gotten runner-up. I've gotten runner-up. But, I want that crowning moment so badly. And it's like this weird validation that as pageant queens kind of crave. Just being validated that we're good enough. But, when you're competing, one thing, competing is not for the weak. You have to know that there's a whole new set of judges each time. Different day, different judge. And those moments where you feel that you failed, quote unquote failed, those are just moments of redirection. I think the saying is rejection is redirection. And you just have to be aware of that. And once you become aware of, okay, like, look, this is happening, this is how it is, I'm gonna make my own lane, you can get out of it.
That
Easier
is
said
like
than
my
done.
whole life story though. With everything, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna create my own opportunities and like build my own doors so I can open them myself, because a lot of people said no to me. I was rejected so much in like every aspect of like my businesses. So I was like, I'm just gonna create my own opportunities, and I feel like we've really done that, especially with this Gaia swimwear. I made my own swimsuit because I couldn't afford a Jamie Shaw, and now we put her out of business, I feel like.
Yeah.
So.
This guy, oh my God. When are the applications? You guys need to sign up. If you are interested in competing at Miss Vizcaya Swimwear, I had so much fun. I'm speechless because like this is an opportunity that a lot of girls are missing out on. If you're new to pageants or if you're a veteran of pageants, it's a beautiful blend of our pageantry, bam, 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 and then also fashion model-esque.
Yeah.
So, and then you're in Miami.
Yeah, you basically get like that hot Miami girl, like celebrity treatment. We get limos, free dinners at the best restaurants like Bagatelle.
Yes, it was so much fun. And I just thank you and friends for just putting that together, because as we were just talking about, that stuff is not cheap, and that takes a lot of time and energy and commitment of putting all that stuff together. So I really appreciate you putting that together.
Oh, thank you. I love it so much. And people are always like, so can you and Franz adopt me or something, because they love like the makeup and the photos. And I'm like, the closest thing is to compete for Miss Vizcaya and win, because you have us for the year pretty much.
Yeah, and you get loads of images, Getty images, loads of opportunities to talk to different professionals. I had a chance to talk to Danny Walker. That was my first time seeing her in person.
Oh, really?
Yes, that was my first time. I love watching her YouTube videos, but it was just so different being able to see her in person and hug her and talk to her, have those conversations, networking, collaborating.
Definitely.
Those are the moments that mean the most. And participating. Don't be afraid to try something new or just to sign up just to do it.
Yeah, we've like built careers. There were girls that like were waitresses or something, and they're like, I want to get into modeling, and so they would compete, and even though they don't win, it opened the doors for them, because now they have the runway experience, the portfolio, the social media. Like it just helps, it opens the door for you, and that's really what I want for people that compete.
And it's fun.
Yeah, and applications are open. It's missvizcayaswimwear.com. So easy, you just apply, and they'll reach out to you.
Yes.
Okay, next talking point. I think it's our last one already. Future goals and aspirations. Oh, I'm so excited about this one.
So right now I'm competing at Central Georgia for Miss World America. I want the chance to just amplify my efforts, everything that I've been doing to advocate for this cause that I'm very passionate about, which is that dental and oral health care. And I really want to make a statement. I want to show that pageants are still relevant. Pageant queens can hold a conversation. We can take up space, and we are more than what meets the eye. So, and then when it comes to the dress store and Beauty Queens Galore, I'm just so excited. I'm kind of worried because I'm preparing to go to dental school as well. So right now I'm in a phase where I'm preparing to run Beauty Queens Galore on a level where I could run it in my sleep, so to speak. Because once I go to dental school, which I plan to going to dental school next fall, you're going to be in your books all day, every day. There's no time for scrolling on social media and getting content. There's no time for that.
Do you have to like hire people and delegate and trust them to take over?
Yeah, and I've hired people in the past. It did not go well, Lisa. Oh my gosh. Let me give you a quick example. So I hired someone to help out with social media. Come to find out, this person was commenting under different pageant queens posts saying, you're never going to win because you're white.
On
you're
your
never
account?
Under Beauty Queens Galore, this person is commenting under this.
My
And it was two people that I hired. I don't know which of the two did. I fired both of them, but that was the moment where I was like, okay, so two things. I need to make sure we're on the same mission, making sure that I understand who's coming on this team, what you're all about. Because when you're in need for help, you're just willing to take anything at some point, especially with me.
Better than nothing.
Better than nothing. But, I'd rather have those sleepless nights to make sure everything is perfected in a way where, I can manage it the way I want. And also when I feel comfortable. I've grown a team now. We have hosts who are pageant queens. They are my right-hand man, and they help take care of those Instagram lives and those chats with different people. But it's really a village is what it takes, and staying grounded in my strengths and my goals and my purpose, staying grounded in my family is what keeps me going. And I'm super excited. I'm pursuing dentistry. which has been a full circle moment because I've been rejecting dentistry for the longest
Oh,
time.
really?
Yes, so my path, I grew up going to medical school. I mean,
Mhm.
high school biology, college biology. The next plan was medical school. And it was just this weird moment. I can't even explain it, but I just woke up feeling like, this isn't going to work. I don't feel comfortable pursuing this. Is it something else I'm trying to pursue? And you can ask my friends, my family. It was such a terrible state I was in because I was so confused. And, I just took a minute to think about like what felt most comfortable to me, what felt like home. And that was being at my mom's office, working with people,
Wow.
meeting them where they
Mhm.
are, hearing their concerns, and really just understanding the ins and out of the business. That's when I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. And the minute I said, you know what, I'm going to pursue dentistry, that's when like a weight was lifted off my chest. So
Wow.
I'm so excited to pursue this. It gives me the chance to, talk about those causes and, being a doctor, show that I can still give back to my community, not being afraid to hear people out, make those changes. And, biotechnology. I got a master's in biotechnology with a focus in cannabis therapeutics.
I'm so
The
glad you
world
brought
is
that up. I
changing.
know.
In Georgia, it's not legal. I mean, there's some medical benefits you can get with cannabis, but it's such a gray area. But the beauty of it is that it's an alternative medicine.
Mhm.
It's a beautiful way to get people off of addictive medicines. It can give people a better quality of life. People have Alzheimer's and dementia. Those cannabis and those cannabinoids coat the neurons in the brain so that those people aren't feeling pain.
Wow.
It's just a beautiful subject, and although it can be taboo to talk about at times, it's been able to make real lasting change. I mean, there are children who just live every day in pain. All they just need are these little drops of CBD, and then
Wow.
they can relax. But the government is not fond of it, which I understand. I mean, there's just so
It's just like
many.
the way that we were raised where it's like, oh, weed is so bad, it's a drug, and
Yeah,
like it's just changed so much.
it's
So
changed so much. And the cannabis that was back then isn't the same as today. I mean, we are in an age where everything is mass produced, everyone wants the highest potency, and that's what a lot of people are getting. These people are getting cannabis that is like, to give into perspective, cannabis back in the day was about 8 to 10% strength of THC. Now we're at 33%. Like, this is like straight on man-made cannabis.
wow.
Like, this is just strictly for people who just are looking for that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
um I'm more interested in the medical aspect of it, and the pros and the cons of that. So it's such a huge area, and there's such a need for there's such a need for every avenue of this industry, when it comes to policy making, when it comes to cultivating. It's just, I can talk about this all day, but it's a need, and it's something that I want to pursue and hopefully integrate with dentistry, and help people get a better quality of life. That's what I
Yeah,
want to do.
not only that, but I feel like legalizing it would kind of end like the war on drugs a little bit and ease off on that so that it's more like,
Oh, girl, don't get me
regulated. I know
started.
we can't start
Yeah,
on that, but that's
we're
like a whole nother
a whole nother
episode.
episode. But I just to leave off, be curious. Think freely, even just talking about the war on drugs. I mean, do your research. Just get curious and look up things that you don't want to know. That's the best way to learn and grow and to find ways to build that curious mind and that
Yeah.
innovative mind. So yeah.
So how has pageants helped you in the professional world? Do you feel like you've grown a lot and it's like easier to navigate like job interviews and applications and
Oh
things like that
yeah.
because of
Oh
pageants?
yeah, and I'm sure every other pageant girl can attest to this. The minute you join, you are thrown in a pit of fire to
Mm-hmm.
talk to people, get uncomfortable. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable 24/7. And although it could feel weird in the moment, once you get through it, you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Maybe I could do this better next time.
Yeah.
So I have always been the child where I was the wallflower. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I wanted to stay in my corner. I was afraid to articulate myself and share my opinions and my thoughts. But with competing at pageantry, it forced me to say, this is what I care about, and this is, why I want to do it. This is why it's so important. And, ultimately it's put me in a position where I can talk to different policymakers and administrative leaders about incorporating new ideas into their companies, and just really being the person I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted to be the person to be like, how are they talking like that? How are they so articulate?
Yep.
But all it takes is just that practice and being introduced to the things that make you
And like,
uncomfortable.
look at you now. You're podcasting better than
Yes,
me. You're out doing the host. I'm just like watching you, like, wow, she's so put together. She knows exactly what she's talking about. Like, you're amazing.
Thank you. This is platforms like this that gives us the opportunity to share that, because we don't get to show that on social media. On social media, you will see glam Kennedy, my service work,
which we do love.
which we
Glam
do
Kennedy.
but I love for people to hear how I am, to know
Mhm.
that I am a free thinker and that I am someone who promotes learning, especially in the youth. It's so important. And I just thank you for this opportunity, Lisa.
Oh my gosh, of course. Thank you for being here.
Of
Okay,
course.
one last thing.
Yeah.
You also direct Miss Grand Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that. What was in your bio?
Yes.
How is that going? You got a national winner this year. Congratulations.
Yes, the first Georgia winner to win Miss Grand USA. Cora has been just a light in my life. She has taught me so many different things. She's taught me how to, just think differently and have a different outlook and perspective on just life in general. She's a Christ believer. She is a firm believer in everything happens for a moment. Once you get to know her, she's been through a lot. And at face value, people don't get to know that about her. But she is just a true testament of a phoenix rising from the ashes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she was on your podcast
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
So
definitely.
y'all please tune in to watch that episode. But directing Cora has been outstanding. Right now she's in Cambodia. No, she's in Thailand. She was originally in Cambodia. All the contestants compete in the second half of the competition in Thailand, and it's just been a whirlwind. And on the back end, it's a lot of paperwork, it's a lot of making deadlines, it's a lot of styling and strategy, but in the end, it's beautiful to create a space where Cora can thrive, where she can think beyond pageantry. She wants to be a host for E! News. I'm trying to create that for her.
Oh yeah, easily. She has everything it takes.
Yes, and she's just so beautiful, and I'm so proud of her. And directing is not for the weak. It's a lot of going out of pocket. Your first 2 years, you're going to be
really
operating
hard
at a
to
loss.
make money as a director.
And some people think, I just want to boss people around. I want to do this, and it's not that simple.
No.
It's not that simple, but it's definitely doable. You just have to do your research and make sure that you are ready to handle the ups and the downs, because there are more downs than there are ups. But it takes going through those down moments and really having those conversations to understand the girl that you're working with, because everyone's different. Understanding how they think, understanding their emotions, and what you can say, what you can't say to them, is very important, and has taught me more valuable life skills than I could have ever imagined. So I feel like I'm just living life in such a fast-paced,
right.
it's
like God
like a
is
movie.
just spoiling us. It's like, here's another blessing, here's another one. It's like, okay, thank you. Like, we're gonna take it all in, but it's a lot. But I'm just so grateful. How has Cora's preparations been for internationals? I know you had a big part in that.
Yeah, so we've been trying to polish interviews. No one can out-talk Cora. If she has a microphone, the girl next to her or in front of her needs to watch out, because she will out-talk anybody. So really fine-tuning the things that she wants to get across in her interview, and then in the moments where she can share her message. And walking, Grand is a whole nother level when it comes to performing. It's a production, it's a show. And she's a contestant who's been in Miss America, Miss USA for a long time. So getting that grand girl out of her, getting her to loosen up, has been a really fun experience for her. And I'm seeing her thrive right now and just having so much fun, just being free. That's really what Grand is about, is just being free and just being careless. And I love seeing that for her, because she's just so used to just living by the books and being so strict on things. So the preparation has been good. I mean, most people don't know this right now. People are making hateful comments towards our girl because of styling, but people don't know that, these girls have their luggage lost. That just goes to show that people don't know the whole story, and you
Didn't
have
she
to
tell
be
me that
kind
her
online.
curling iron or her straightener is in her luggage and she doesn't have that with her?
Yeah, and it's just so much things going on with the
Mm-hmm.
pageant, but it's all part of the process.
Yeah.
And it's about adapting and having those problem solving skills to really get you through those tough moments.
You've competed internationally, right?
I actually have not competed internationally.
Oh. I was
Not
gonna ask for
yet.
advice, but she's
No.
gonna go to Miss World, you guys.
Yes, fingers crossed. I will
Yes.
say, just from getting to know different pageant queens when it comes to international, a lot of these queens feel alone. So if you have a representative or any representative, intercontinental, world, USA, universe, comment the USA flag, show that girl support, because she's in a whole different country, a
Mm-hmm.
whole different time zone, all by herself. She doesn't have the same food that she's used to. It's a really huge shift in environment, and all these girls want is just support, because they truly feel alone to the point where they just want to get up and leave.
Oh my
And what
gosh.
really makes their day is when you do comment, go USA,
Mm-hmm.
go Miss Intercontinental, go Miss Grand USA. Having those moments is what keeps that girl moving. They get hit hard with a lot of negative comments, a lot of opinions and concerns
Yeah.
that can get underneath their skin. It can get in their head. But when you have those comments saying, USA strong, USA flag, boom, 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 just spamming that, it makes her feel supported. It makes her want to represent our country well, because having USA representing America across your chest, that's an honor. I
That's
mean,
huge.
there's so
Yeah.
many soldiers who have died for this country,
Mm-hmm.
and having that across your chest is an honor. And each girl who has that opportunity to represent the U.S. on an international level, she deserves that love from her people.
I love that.
Yeah.
Last question.
Yeah.
So you're going to dental school. Are you going to keep competing?
Lisa, why you do that to
Of
me?
course she is.
I forgot who it was. There was one girl I competed against. She was in dental school and actually actively competing in a pageant. And that
Oh,
was the moment.
Melanie Rosalia or Renee Sweeney. They both did. It's possible.
Possible,
I know
but
two
but
girls.
seeing that they were able to make that work to be in dental
Mm-hmm.
school and compete gave me light at the end of the tunnel. I would love to compete, but I have to put my studies first. I have
Yeah.
to, because this is my life. This is my safety net for my life, and I have to make sure that's secure first. Maybe after my freshman year of dental school, I'll compete again, but you definitely won't see the last of me. I'll be showing up to different pageants, getting involved, being behind the scenes. So I'll be there.
That's so amazing. One more thing I love about you is that you know how to stay neutral. And we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about that too, is like there's always so much drama.
Oh,
And I feel
yeah.
like there's been more like this past year. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, we don't have to choose a side. And it's okay to like support the girls because they're thrown into it. And at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, that's what it's about.
Yeah. And you don't want to be the bully yourself. You don't want to put
Exactly.
someone else down and then you're the bully.
Mm.
Um, and sometimes staying neutral can not be the best thing. I mean, as pageant queens, if we have a political question and we have a neutral answer, that just shows you don't have a true stance. But
Right.
in
But
different
you don't need to have a
aspects,
true stance on like drama that doesn't even involve us.
yeah,
It was
it
like, it's
truly is
really
about the
not my
girl.
place. Yeah.
It's This industry is a Game of Thrones, and I hate that it's not focused
Mm-hmm.
on the girl right now. It's more focused
Mm-hmm.
on who has power, who has control. But one thing about Beauty Queens Galore, the pageant resource, is that you will see a neutral perspective on pageantry. You'll see um, the pros on one side of someone, and then the negatives on the other side. So you see everyone's feedback, everyone's concerns, but in a digestible way
In
where
a
there's
safe
no,
space
in a safe
also.
space. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So, is there anything else you want to share with our audience?
I just want to say, this opportunity has been so amazing. I cannot express enough how grateful I am for you squeezing me into your schedule. And
Oh my gosh, no, I'm like
like,
so grateful you're here. Like I
oh,
said in the
Lisa.
beginning, like I've always wanted to have you on. I feel like we talked about it a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm glad we finally made it happen. I think the timing is perfect.
Yes. And you were such a genuine person. I remember the first time that I came across you and friends in Beauty by Lady Code. I was competing at Miss Earth USA, and you were just
Mm-hmm.
so sweet. And just the fact that you've been consistent with that all these years, like, this is who you are. Like, the same Lisa that we see online on social media is the same Lisa we're going to get in person. So you just have a beautiful soul that
Thank
you
you.
show that you can be beautiful. You can leverage your beauty and still have a beautiful attitude. and just be kind to people. Because that could be,
that means
a
a
lot of people feel like, oh, she's a pretty face. Maybe she's not, nice.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, I think you're so mean, or they'll be like nervous to meet me, and I'm like, why? Like, I'm in sweatpants.
Yeah, super sweet. So thank you so much. And, thank you for my makeup. Snatched. I wish I had a palette. Please shop Beauty by Lady Code. Get your makeup done. I mean, all of her makeup artists are professional, very kind. They're very consistent. And just thank you so much for making me look and feel beautiful.
Thank you, Kennedy.
Of course.
So now we're going to do this or that. You can elaborate on your answers if you want to.
Okay.
I think I know the answer to this one because I'm looking at your shoes. But platform heels or sandal heels?
Platform. Give me that extra inch up.
Oh, who's your favorite like shoe designer? Where do you get your shoes?
Steve Madden.
Okay. Is that where these are from?
So, yeah. I keep hitting. I'm so sorry. I keep hitting your microphone. But these platforms are Steve Madden. They're actually discontinued now. In the pageant world, a lot of the girlies are going crazy on where they can find these shoes.
Yeah, because they're so tall. I'm like, I need that height, I'm sure.
And they're so comfortable. I mean, the platforms look scary, but the higher they are, the more comfortable you are walking in.
I agree with that. Sandal heels hurt me. Yeah. My toes start sliding down. It hurts. Hair or makeup? You better say makeup. Just
kidding. I'm definitely going to say makeup. This look specifically makes me feel foxy and sexy and independent and strong. So makeup will be my go-to.
I have to call this the Kennedy. She sat in my makeup chair today and I'm like, I think I know what look we're doing. And she was like, yep, that's the one. And we just knew.
Yep.
Shopping online or in person?
Online.
Really? And you own a store?
Yeah, and I don't know why, but I think it's just so convenient just staying at home.
No pressure.
No pressure. But it can get annoying when you don't know if it's going to fit or your outfit's going to fit. But shopping online is my first go-to.
Love it. Reels or TikTok?
TikTok, because you have a wider, broader audience to reach.
Yeah. Are you on TikTok with your brand?
I am a little bit. So yes, the pageant resource, we actually have millions of views on our TikTok videos. Wow. If you ever want to watch on stage questions, go to our TikTok. You can watch those. On my personal, I'm lagging so bad, but I want to get back into it because I think TikTok has a way more broader reach than Reels. I mean, Reels, you have to have 90 seconds. You can't have over 90 seconds. You can't do this. Like, it's just so much.
Yeah, the keywords, like, it's a lot. It's like really science now. Mob wife or clean girl?
Mob wife.
Oh, yes. Same. Yes. Steak or sushi?
Steak.
Really?
Listen, Lisa, I forced myself to try to like sushi. It's not working.
Is it because it's raw fish? Like, do you think about it?
No, I think it's just the seaweed. I don't like the seaweed. Oh, really? I'd rather just eat the rice and my little shrimp. But the seaweed kind of throws me off a little bit.
Because you think about it like floating in the ocean.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's funny.
So definitely steak.
Road trip or fly?
Fly. I need that first class. I need my little champagne with my little Biscoff cookies, feet up, relaxed. I get so terrified driving in a car. Really? This is such a bizarre statement to say, but I've always had this premonition of like being in a really bad car accident.
Stop.
I'm not. Look, God forbid. That's not gonna happen. But flying is my go-to.
East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast.
Photo shoot or fashion show?
Fashion show.
Love it. Crown or sash?
Sash. Definitely more low-key because I feel like the crown can be distracting. But with the sash, it's just clearly defined who you are instead of the crown. There's so many different variants of the crown.
That's true. Last one, swimsuit or gown?
Swimsuit, baby.
I'm shocked because you own a gown store. I was like, what?
I know. But I'm telling you, after Viscaya swimwear, swim is my thing. Because I was able to just strut and still be classy and fun at the same time.
You did amazing. What was it like walking in Miami Swim Week?
It was so much fun. I want to do it again. Please I want to sign up. I need to see what happens with this pageant as I'm competing. But, if it doesn't favor my way, I'm definitely coming back.
Well, when you win next year, you can judge as Miss World America.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Of course. Can you list all of your social media so we can follow you?
Yeah. So my personal is The Real Kennedy Simone, KENNEDY, and then Simone, SIMONE. And then if you want to, read more about anonymous forums, anonymous experiences, go to Beauty Queens Galore. It's beauty.queensgalore on Instagram. And then if you ever just need a gown, I mean, we're open to sponsorships and just making sure that you feel beautiful and confident. Reach out to us at BQG Prom and Pageant on Instagram. And then on our website, you can check out our designers as well.
I love that. And I'll make sure to link everything down below as well.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, one last thing, make sure you follow Miss Grand USA, representing our beautiful country, Cora, at Miss Grand USA on Instagram. Please show your support.
Yes, I hope they already did after Cora's episode.
Yes.
But thank you so much for coming on. I had so much fun with you.
Thank you.